What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Decentraland today. Good old Mana. I like Mana, man. Nobody's requested to see this coin, but this is something that I personally do like. I want to pull it up on a different chart. Yeah, Kraken. Kraken has a lot more. I think this has some of the most historical data on Mana, actually. So what we're doing right now at the current point in time, right? Let's see. Put a line on the line. Yeah, we're testing previous all-time highs as support. Okay, we actually have a little like double bottom-ish action going on right now. I do think we go below this line. I do think, we had a nice bounce here. We didn't see any continuation. It was just a lower high. Here we are forming potentially a lower low. It hasn't happened yet. This is a higher low at the moment, but looking at the RSI on the weekly, it's not completely condemning. You did bounce off of this oversold zone, and you are still below the 50, which is not encouraging. It looks like you barely got out of the bearish control zone, and you got right back into it this week. But we have 6 days and 5 hours left, so let's just see how it goes. But let's see. Yeah, you're finding resistance at previous areas of resistance. We could go back down, and I would think that if you were to go below, let's see. If you were to go below this area here at about 36.9 cents, you likely will go back down here and likely will break this line here. So ultimately, where do I think this thing's going to go from here? Probably in the very near term too, honestly. On a weekly basis, this could be in like the next couple months. Likely, Mana will go anywhere from, yeah, wow, look at this, man. You went up, support on the 0.5, rejected the 236 twice, found support on the 618, but then you broke below it very convincingly, and now rejected the 618. I do think, and you haven't technically rejected it yet, but it looks like you are. I would think that you're going to see these extensions down here, probably anywhere from 21 cents to 14.5 cents. And I really like Mana, you guys. I really do. Let's put this. I'll show you why I like Mana. Okay, let's see. If you were to buy in this range, okay, and it could go lower, it could go not as low, but let's just as an idea, let's just keep that there. Let's see if it interacts with anything in the past. Okay, kind of the topping area of this over here. You found a little support in this range before, right over here, topping area. Okay, so maybe you do go below the 1618 even. Maybe you go lower. I don't know. I would think here maybe, which is I guess right where it was before, maybe to there. So maybe you go between like 10 and 20 cents, something like that. Okay. And if you do that, what you have on the monthly, let's say you go smack dab in the middle between 10 and 20 cents. Let's actually not do that. Let's say you go to 20 cents exactly. 20 cents exactly. This white line here. So if you were to bottom out here, if Mana was to bottom out there, I'm going to get rid of these white lines now. There is some serious upside potential, okay? That would be around 20 cents. This thing could go up to $14, even up to $48, and yes, even up to $100. I actually do have high hopes for this thing. I think a $100 Mana, it's at 38 cents right now. I think a $100 Mana is totally possible and achievable in this coming bull cycle. It really is. If not this coming bull cycle, sometime in the future, but I think a $100 Mana is in the cards, and here's why. I got a different crypto pulled up here, MANA. If we're looking at it, it's number 62. It's got a market cap of 715 million. What would that do to the price if we were to go up to $100 from here? That would give it a market cap growth of about 270x. 270x. Okay. So a 10x would be 7.15 billion. A 100x would be a 71 billion, which means a 200x would be a 142, give or take a little bit more, 142, I guess actually $143 billion market cap. 143 billion for a 200x. So if it was to do a 270, I don't know how much that would be, but that would be less than right, because it was 143, right? So that would be less than a $200 billion market cap still. So can this thing reach a price of $100? It certainly can. It certainly freaking can, man. This is an OG coin. It's been around for quite some time. It's got a lot of attention. It's like how Bitcoin is the first crypto, Mana is the first metaverse token. It's the first metaverse token in crypto ever. It's more OG than Sandbox. It's got a lower market cap than Sandbox. Ergo, I think it has more price potential, growth potential than Sandbox. They've been around longer too. I know a lot of people hype up Sandbox and talk about it, but I don't know what these guys got in the workings, man. They've been around longer. They might have some stuff in store. And if this thing proves to be as spectacular as I think it might be, and there's some serious use case to it, you know, this could see a price of $100. And actually, I want to see Mana. All right, let's go to Decentraland token Mana. Let's just see. Let me see here. No. I don't want the news. Maybe I just type in Decentraland. Decentraland. Welcome to Decentraland. Let's look at this. We're gonna read this together, okay? I don't normally do stuff like this, but I'm in a mood today, so let's do it. Let's see. Overview, my assets, docs, builder, events, DAO blog. It's not what I wanted to see. It's probably overview. Let's go to overview. Okay. Total sales today, 715, 102 a day. I think that's in Mana tokens, maybe. Yeah, you got all these items. You know, it's like an avatar world. But let's see here. Maybe this isn't what I'm looking for. I'm trying to see governance, maybe overview. Let's see the decentralized autonomous organization. That's what the DAO is. You know what I mean? Start voting, learn more. Decentralized autonomous organization. That's what a DAO is. In crypto, right? Let's see. What kind of things you get to determine? Upgrading land auctions. What about Mana? Mana has already been fully decentralized in the sense that the private key that controlled its smart contract has been thrown away, so nobody is in control of it anymore. There's something, man. There's something. I want to look at the. I want to look at the token. Like I don't know why it doesn't say it on here. Huh. Maybe it's on the blog. Technology. No, man. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't give. I want to see, maybe if I type this in. Let's see. Decentraland white paper. Let's go to this. Okay, here we go. We're gonna read through this together, guys, okay? Abstract, blah 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 blah. 2D interfaces, web, but a transversable 3D world adds an immersive component. The document lays out philosophical, blah 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 blah. Let's see here. Table of context, rationale, history, a traversable world, foundations, use cases, economy, land, and the Mana token. Okay, this is what I wanted to look at. Okay, right here, 12. We're gonna go to 12 here. Okay, all the way down to 12. We're gonna scoot our butts on down. Land and the Mana token. Okay, here's what's interesting. Okay, I know that this isn't a conventional video, guys. I took a couple seconds to read and get into this. You know, I'm not gonna remake the video and like try to make it all perfect. You know, if you watch this and it's a little bit boring, I'm sorry, but we're getting to the part that I wanted to address right here. Okay, so with the launch of the Iron Age, we are introducing two digital assets: land and the non-fungible parcels in which the virtual world is divided, and the non-fungible parcels in which the world is divided, and Mana, an ERC20 token that is burned to claim land. Mana is burned to claim land. Okay, that means we go to this right here. The max supply is this. The circulating supply is that, right? As Mana evolves, as it continues to build and be used, this max supply will decrease. There will actually be less mana available. This is a, what's the word I'm looking for? This is a deflationary asset. It's not inflationary, it's deflationary, okay? So, to buy land, mana is burned to claim land, as well as to make in-world purchases of goods and services. So mana, an ERC20 token, is burned to claim land, and it's also burned as well to make in-world purchases of goods and services, I think. Or maybe it's not burned to make those purchases, I don't know. But it's at least burned to claim land. The utility of land is based on its adjacency to other attention hubs, its ability to host applications and also identify mechanism, blah, 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 or identity mechanism. Developers and other content creators will demand land so they can build on top of it and reach their target audience. Although every unclaimed land can be purchased at the same exchange rate, 1,000 mana equals 1 land, land parcels are distinguishable from each other. Okay, so even though 1,000 mana is the same as another 1,000 mana, they're all the same. One land parcel is distinguishable from another land parcel. Each land parcel has different values, more or less, I guess, or different different things. Different things. Land parcels are distinguishable for each other, and it says at the same exchange rate of 1,000, but I swear you can buy, I don't know if they're all at the same exchange rate. There's definitely parcels of land that are more expensive than others. Potentially trading at different prices on a secondary market. There we go. That's what it is. Due to differences in adjacencies and traffic. So basically, after it's been bought in secondary markets, it can be traded for more because it's worth more depending on how popular the area is in Decentraland, if that makes sense. On the other hand, mana serves as a proxy to assess the price of new parcels of land. Also, mana used to buy goods and services in the virtual world creates utility value for the token. So not only do you use it to just burn it and buy land, but you do use it to buy things in the ecosystem as well, right? So, with that being said, guys, with all that being said, mana, as it, I made a video recently talking about another coin, what was it? It was UZX. I forget what it was. Let me see. I'll go back. It was. Where are ya? Nope, that's not it. Let me see. Maybe if I go back. Unizen. Talking about how its market cap, to go back to the same price, its market cap will be dramatically higher, and I don't like that. With mana, when it goes back to its same all-time high, its market cap will be lower, which only means that to break above this, it's going to be easier. To get back to the same market cap that it was up here, it'll be easier from a price action standpoint, which is really good for speculators, good for investors. And, from the sounds of it too, it's also something that's good overall for people that are participating in the ecosystem. Again, guys, I'm sorry that this video might be a little bit unconventional. I know it's been a little sporadic. I'm kind of discovering things with you as I'm going. I knew what I wanted to say. I didn't have the exact words and I didn't know where to find it, but it took me some time to find it. But here it is. I really encourage you to look at the white paper for Mana Man, because this thing is interesting. It's definitely interesting, and I know that Mana gets a bad rap compared to Sandbox, but they are developing things. They are working on this, and it's not a forgotten project. It is an OG coin, and they've stood the test of time so far. They haven't had any issues. The one issue they've had is use case. There's nobody really using the ecosystem, not yet. If and when it actually sees use case, this token can be worth a lot of money. It can be worth a lot of money, man. And $100, it doesn't have to stop there. Again, if this thing is deflationary, at the current price, $100, with the current circulating supply, $100 would bring this thing to, like about a $200 billion, just under a $200 billion market cap, okay? So somewhere around there. But if tokens keep getting spent and they keep getting burned and there's less total supply of mana tokens, then that market cap for a price of $100, instead of it being around 200 billion for that market cap, it'll be lower, meaning that it's easier for it to grow in a market cap standpoint and therefore grow in price as well. So over time, guys, what I'm trying to get at is that the moves up for this thing are only going to be easier. It's only going to be easier, and I think inevitably I do think inevitably you'll see a token. If this thing gains traction, you will see a token that is worth several $100s, if not potentially even $1,000 one day. That would be nowhere near now, nowhere near the next 10 years, nowhere near that. But within the next 10 years, you could see a coin, Mana, being worth multiple hundreds of dollars, and it's only worth 38 cents right now. Okay, so this is a 100xable coin. It's a 200xable coin. It is a 1,000xable coin over time, and I mean that. I really mean that. I really do like Mana. It's one of my favorite coins. I don't talk about it a whole lot, but someone brought it to my attention back here, man, and I didn't give it any attention until it pumped. And then I'm like, okay. Actually, I did give it attention. I gave it attention somewhere in here. I want to say it was after the drawback, and around like 70 and 80 cents. That's when I had some of my like family members buy into this thing. I convinced them into it, and they never sold. They're still holding. It's for a long-term hold, but retrospectively to sell it up here would have been nice. But if you hold it for the long term, you might not worry about the fact that you could have sold it for more. And what I'm trying to get to, back to like the main TA aspect of this thing, is that I do think it goes lower from here. If it were to go to 14 cents, look at that. That's right at the 618. That's right in between that original area I was talking about at 10 to 20 cents. This would make a whole lot of sense. Not only is it the 618, but it's the previous area where we topped before, right? You can see it back over here. It's just a little bit below that previous area, but it's kind of right there. And I know we've got wicks up here. But if I put a line right at the closing top here, it's right above that 618. It's right there. So I really do think that this thing, and the 0.69 is just below 10 cents. So I really do think this thing has a chance of going below 20 cents and above 10 cents, somewhere in that range, to find its bottom for the cycle. I don't think that it's done yet. This does look like a bull trap to me. And what do you do with bull traps? You sell into them. Eventually, whenever you get here, down below it, when you consume the whole thing, then you flush out. You have your final flush. I think we're in the workings of that. I really do. But man, for something that could be worth eventually $100 or more, it could very well be worth $100 or more. If you were to buy it, let's say you got it at 20 cents, the top of the range that I'm giving it for its low, and it went up to $100. That, again, guys, that would be from there. That would be a 500x. You take $1,000 and you turn it into $500,000. You take $100 and you turn it into $50,000. Okay, you don't need a lot of money invested in this thing to see serious returns. And when I say $100, when I'm talking about this 500x, you guys, I'm talking about that happening this cycle, by the end of this bull market. You don't believe that it can happen? That's okay. You don't have to believe it can happen. I was in a little bit disbelief last cycle. Look, from bottom to top here, it went up 419x. 419x. Okay, so 500 is more than that. It's definitely more than that. But could it happen? It definitely could. Maybe it doesn't happen. Maybe it does half of that. Maybe it does a 200x. Oh no, a 200x. Like, you're still turning $100 into 20 grand, $1,000 into 200 grand, $10,000 into $2 million. You know what I mean? Like, this thing has some very serious potential. And if we take the fib here from the top, again, let's say it goes to 20 cents. I think around 14 cents would actually be the more realistic number. I don't know. You got a $16 to a $57 token, which, again, if you were to buy around there at those prices, you're definitely going to see a 100x, if not a potential 300x on that gain. And it very well could, if this thing gains traction, like it gained traction back here whenever Facebook announced its name to be Meta. It gained traction back here. But if this thing proves itself to be valuable and it actually has more interesting components than Sandbox or than some other things, and the fact that it is the OG metaverse token in crypto, I think that this thing could see a greater increase than this. Even if it saw half that increase, that was a 400x, it could see a 200x. Even if it saw a quarter of that increase, you're still talking a 100x, okay? And if it's to do a 100x from the current low, if it doesn't go lower, if it was to do a 100x from the current low, that still puts it at $30. We're at 38 cents right now, okay? We're at 38 cents right now. It could totally go to $30 or more, and I very much do think it goes higher than $30 in the coming cycle. I don't know if it gets to $100. I have hopes that it will. I think that it maybe doesn't get to 100, maybe it gets to the 90s, but it could go higher than that even. And I'm putting that number out there because I do truly believe in that. And as time goes on, there will only be less tokens. This thing gets burned. These coins are meant to be spent on land. And when you do that, it burns the tokens. It literally, we saw it, right? It burns, that is burned to claim land. When you buy land, in mana, in Decentraland with mana, that mana is gone forever. It's burned, right? It's like if I paid for something and you burn the dollar, right? That's literally what's going on. It's burned. It to never be reclaimed again. It has a current max supply of 2,193,179,327. As the years go on, that max supply decreases because again, mana gets burned. Okay. And they got a DAO, guys. They have a decentralized autonomous organization that you can participate in, you can vote in, you can literally interact with this ecosystem and have a say in like the direction that it goes. Like it gives power to the people. And maybe there's something about it that I don't know that's actually really bad. I don't know. I like it though, and for what I do know about it, I think that this is a good coin, and I think I've said everything I need to say or I want to say on this thing. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up. Again, kind of an unconventional video, not so much on the TA side. It was a little slow to begin with. I had to find what I wanted to talk about, but I think this thing is overlooked. I think it is underappreciated. And those are my favorite kind of coins to invest in, you guys. Those are my favorite kinds because not only is it overlooked and underappreciated, it had a 400x in its last cycle, and it's overlooked. It's maintained these prices. It hasn't just given it all back. It's forming higher highs. Look at the structure. It looks very nice. It's an OG token. It's been around since before 2018. Let's see, actually. It's been around since November of 2017. Basically, yeah, this over here, September, October, November, somewhere over there. It's been around for quite a while, okay? So, yeah, I don't know. I really like this thing. If you guys are interested in it, I very much suggest that you read the white paper, look into it, see what it's about. Don't just like Google the news and read the news. I mean, you can do that too, but there's a lot of people in crypto who would tell you that Sandbox is better than Mana. And I think there are aspects of Sandbox that are better than Mana, but I don't know if it has the same. If you're in it like I am, for the speculation, for the potential value, right, that you could see grow from it, I think Mana's where it's at, man. I think it really is where it's at. I don't plan on participating in the ecosystem myself. I just plan on buying some tokens and selling it whenever it goes up. So again, if you like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to see more. Really appreciate you guys. Have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.